Assault's rifle. The Orlando Magic are trying to get ready for this one. Bringing you another exciting NBA broadcast here on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan. Joining me, Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. For the Knicks, they continue their stretch of home games. They have not fared well so far this season, losing all but one game.
Checking out New York, they've got to be incredibly deflated by the way things have gone for them this season.
Seems like everything that could have gone wrong has gone wrong, Clark. For a team that had some high hopes, it's been a major disappointment.
Now brought to you by State Farm, a look at Orlando's starting lineup. Baca is out there with Beasley. Then there's Nene. Then there's Derrick Rose. And it's Young in at the 2. And for the Knicks, Elton Brand is out there with Blair. Then there's Stephen Curry. Then there's Ben Gordon. And it's Durant in at the small forward.
Kevin Durant was a great player almost immediately in the NBA, but I thought he really came into his own during the World Championships in Turkey in 2010. He dominated those games and really became a force on a world stage.
Now let's send it down to Doris Burke, who was able to talk with Stan Van Gundy.
Last season, Kevin Durant established himself as perhaps the elite scorer in the NBA. Coach told me he's very conscious of what the Durantula is capable of. He can make shots from 3. He can drive in either direction. He can post up. There are simply no holes in his game. Thank you, Doris. You know, talk about Durant, Clark, in the international game with his height and range, the perfect zone buster.
Custom made for it, boy. I tell you, great out shooting, a prerequisite, mandatory prerequisite in the international game. And
boom! And nobody getting in the way.
Not at all. Major throw down there. Boy, that is an alley-oop of the highest order on the front and back end.
Well, play they've been working on, I'm sure.
That's got to be the case because that was impeccable timing.
And here is Curry. Outside Gordon. Outside Durant. Gets the bucket from 20 feet away. Durant's got his second basket of the night.
You know, the Magic trying some different techniques last year. One was a shadowing drill that helped improve the conditioning of a lot of the Magic players. Basically, 2 players were tethered, and the offensive guy had to lose the defender. Interesting strategy and way to try to get ready for the season.
Rose against Curry. And Rose picks him up defensively. Feeds it to Gordon. Launches it. And it's Orlando with the rebound. Clark, you mentioned that drill, and you find that very interesting. I know it paid off as the Magic were one of the better conditioned teams, Steve, in the NBA.
Man, before he was traded to Washington, Rashard Lewis remarked that drill in particular kind of lets you see who wanted it and who didn't on that roster. Just a very, very exhaustive exercise.
Rose against Curry. Here's Ibaka. The Knicks with the lead. And this game, the first chance they've had to see Orlando.
And this, the first of 3 games that these two teams will have against each other this year.
And Kevin Durant again. Durant's got 8 points. And here is Ibaka. 8 points his last outing. Here's Beasley. On the high post, he drills it.
Well, he knows his role, he embraces it, and he's really a guy that you can go to offensively.
The first quarter all wrapped up, and it's been an exciting... The season series. You never know what implications these contests could have in terms of playoff position in the conference.
You know,
and Rose throws it down hard. While we've got a sec, let's check out the Sprite Slam Cam.
Come on now, I didn't see. Can you believe that finish? Boy, a little bit of flair and flavor at the end of it.
Oh, that'll be a fan favorite, all right.
That was not your average, typical dunk.
Curry can't get it to go.
The clear look at the hoop, he doesn't miss many of those.
Well, a great turnaround year for the Knicks a season ago, and it helped that they were in the Eastern Conference. They won 28 games against Eastern opponents.
Here's Erdan. Back to the Knicks, Clark. Those wins were part of why they were able to get back into the playoffs. They were very, very important in the East.
Yeah, they were, and they played well against Eastern Conference teams, but they also did a nice job in interconference play as they put up the most points of any Eastern team by a large margin.
Backing down is Nene. And he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call. Here we are in November, and let's see how things are going out east in the early season. Taking a look at Orlando, right there in 5th position, middle of the pack in the conference. And, of course, the New York Knicks, 7 games back.
You know, for the Magic, they've managed their expectations well. I mean, they've been even keel, not too high, not too low on themselves, and in decent shape as we get deeper into the season.
This is probably where they should be, I mean, to be honest with you. And I like it. I mean, what you want to do with the NBA season, you just want to take it week by week. You can't get too high or too low. And this team, if they continue to just do their work on a daily basis, they should be fine.
Looking at who's out there now for the Knicks. DeJuan Blair. He's checked in for Semi Urdan. Gordon comes in for Gary Neal. And Johnny Flynn is subbed in for Steph Curry. Then for the Magic, Brendan Haywood, he's checked in for Nene. Baca comes in for Ryan Anderson. And Earl Clark is subbed in for Michael Beasley. Ring shot on the way. The bank shot, no good. And it's the Magic with the ball.
And the reason Kevin Durant is so difficult to guard, he's about 6'10", and about a 7'5" wingspan, and shoots the ball right over the top of defenders.
Drains it from beyond the arc. Durant's got 13 points.
You know, guys, he's always looking for that open three. I mean, that's his strength, and sometimes the best time to get the three is in transition.
Rose kicks to Ibaka. Over Brand. Ibaka, no luck. We talk about Durant's length and shooting ability. For most defenders, you're just not going to get that shot.
Not when a shooter like him has pretty much free reign to shoot anytime he wants to, and over the top of most all defenders. I mean, that's a recipe for video game type numbers.
Here's Rose, and good as he converts the difficult look. He's got 6.
He's gotten himself involved in just about every aspect of this game.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic all-around performance, guys.
There's Gordon with the 3. It's hauled in by the Magic. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of Miami.
I thought they...
That should be absolutely illegal. Boy, how about the touch on that pass? Lobbed it up there nice and soft, feathery.
Yeah, looked like it made, Steve, for a pretty easy catch.
Well, the pass may have been soft, but the dunk was anything but.
And the Knicks miss again. Orlando leading.
And they'll slow it down, use a little clock.
Good call, partner. Hold it for the final one.
There's 10 seconds left in the first half. With 4 seconds on the clock, a nice shot by Flynn. And we'll see you in just a moment.
Your Knicks, 17.
And a fun game going on out in New York as HB presents our half. New Jersey ended up with a loss.
Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far. Here's Curry, looking for his first bucket of the game.
Boy, I tell you what, fellas, you know it had to be a very disappointing end to the season last year for Orlando. They got bounced out of the playoffs by the Hawks in just 6 games.
They've got Blair. Elton Brand is out there with Durant. Then there's Ben Gordon, and it's Curry in at the point guard. So that's who's on the floor for the Knicks. Out of bounds, and they'll keep possession. Let's go to the 2K leaderboard. For the past 10 games, these teams have been fantastic on rebounding. Number 1, the Magic.
Kevin, that's been a nice run lately. They're making a strong effort on the board, and it's working and paying dividends for them.
Here's Curry. Converts on the jumper for the easy 2. Curry's got the first bucket of the third here for the Knicks. You know, Steve, going back to the playoffs, the Magic lost Game 1 at home. And do you think that set the tone for Orlando in this series?
I think so. You know, I think Game 1 almost always sets the tone, and particularly when you lose the first one at home, it puts a little doubt in your mind. I think Atlanta gained a lot of confidence from that victory. Well, there was definitely one notable vote for Derrick Rose in his MVP campaign last season. Michael Jordan. It's not a bad endorsement to have.
He couldn't make them all, but at least he got this game tied up.
Durant, that's good. Here is Rose. He's got 9. For 3, Beasley. The shot, no good. Nice D from Durant. And getting back to what Steve was saying as we talk about Jordan and Rose, Jordan said if Rose didn't win the MVP, then he would know how Jordan felt some of those years that he didn't win it.
You know, Jordan could have won it a few more times.
I know.
Clearly, there's no doubt he had played at that level, but it's always not based on just playing at the level. It's other things and other factors, whether you agree with those or not. But Rose certainly ended up taking the honors this year and deserved it. Start to finish, he was brilliant and consistent and deserved to be the league's MVP.
By the way, I think LeBron took it personal in that series in the Eastern Conference Championship
well, that's
with
a
the
case
Bulls.
in point. That's kind of what
Right?
Jordan was probably talking about in his career. Times Karl Malone won it, I think, once or twice.
Absolutely.
And people thought Jordan could have won it. You can make the case. And probably LeBron did look at that and say, hey, I put up brilliant numbers again. I'm the 2-time MVP. Should have been that trophy should have been in my garage again.
Absolutely, for a third time. You're right. Beasley for 3. Elton Brand grabs the board. Brand's got 3 rebounds now in this one. And it's Durant missing. The Magic trailed by 3. Guys, we've seen some excellent offensive output.
Yes, sir, fellas. They've had it going on big time.
Big time is right, Clark. A lot of momentum here offensively.
From the arc. That doesn't go either for Durant. Rose passes to Ibaka. Here's Nene. Blocked. He couldn't stay in bounds, and that's going to be a turnover. These are the top distributors of the basketball for the last 10 games, as shown on the 2K leaderboard. Derrick Rose third.
Just dropping dimes these recent stretch of games.
Jordan Hill, he's checked in for New York. Gary Neal comes in for Ben Gordon. Ryan Anderson, he's checked in for the Magic. Augustine comes in for Derrick Rose. Anderson's shot is off.
And the defender, the rotation came over, really seemed to bother him, and that threw that shot off.
Neal dishes to Hill. Smooth as silk on the finger roll. Hill's got his first bucket of the night. Curry with the steal. The feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful. And it's a 7-point Knicks lead. Here comes DJ Augustine. Passes to Beasley. Kicks it to Anderson. Young from outside. Got it off in time, but it's no good. And as we end the third quarter, a great... Now as we get going here in the fourth, let's send it over to Doris Burke for our Sprite Spark.
Hey, Kevin, well, our spark of the game goes to the Knicks for that major surge. The third quarter was clearly their time to shine, and they've made the most of it to build this lead. You have to like their chances with the way they're playing as they head into the fourth. Guys?
All right, Doris, thank you. That run was a critical stretch, Clark, of the game.
It sure was. I mean, once the pilot light was lit, they didn't let up.
Well, offensively, it all came together for them, Clark, and it really allowed them to kind of take control of the game at that point.
So with Rose on the bench, here's who's on the floor for Stan Van Gundy. We've got DJ Augustine, Damian Wilkins out there with Ryan Anderson. Then there's Nene, and it's Cephalosha in at the two-guard spot.
Boy, I love the way they've been attacking inside, Kevin.
All right, guys, they're getting a lot of points in the painted area, not settling for outside shots, and I don't see any reason to change strategy here. Seems like that finger roll just comes naturally to him. Great touch.
Here's Taylor. Curry backing down. Fires it up. Rebound by Nene. Nene's got his 4th rebound in this one.
Solid advantage in the rebounding totals for them so far here.
You know, in every game, but particularly in a close game, every little advantage you can use helps, and they're certainly enjoying one on the glass here.
Off target with the close-range fadeaway. The Knicks leading by 4. Curry kicks to Taylor. Takes a 3. And unable to corral the miss, and it goes out of play. For the Knicks, Dewan Blair. He's checked in for Brand. Hill comes in for C.J. Miles. And Gary Neal subbed in for Jermaine Taylor. So Orlando going with an almost entirely new group here. Serge Ibaka has checked in for Anderson. Beasley comes in for Damian Wilkins. Nick Young's checked in for Cephalosha. And Derrick Rose is subbed in for Augustine. Gordon the pass to Neal. Blair the screen. Neal dishes to Curry. Goes up. Rebound by the Magic.
He should make that one, guys. He had a pretty good look at the basket, just couldn't get it to go.
Less than 1 minute left. Another miss by Orlando. New York with the ball. 4-point game. Defeated by the Wizards in their last game, they'll try to put that one behind them.
And they were very soft defensively in that game, guys. I just didn't think they brought the energy and the effort it takes to win in an NBA game.
Well, no critical stops when they needed them. The effort was very pedestrian at best. So you combine those factors and you can't get it done in terms of winning a game.
From about 16, and Durant gets it to go. The assist by Curry.
Boy, this is a shooting exhibition, guys. I mean, he's not wasting any of his chances.
Time call here. The Magic decide to talk it over. They're trailing by 6. 27 seconds left here in the 4th quarter. Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Over that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what Stan Van Gundy said to the team. His message was fairly simple. He said, we can't waste any more time. When we get it, we've got to take the ball to the hole and immediately get back on defense. This game is about stops and scores now, guys.
He's off that time. Second free throw missing. Time call here. The Magic decide to talk it over. They're behind by 7. 19 seconds left to play here in the 4th. And it's the Magic with the ball. They trail by 7. Beasley for 3. It's good! And now they trail by just 4. Here's Curry. And they stop the clock as soon as they can with the intentional foul.
Good foul there. They've got to lengthen this game and stop the clock here.
All you can really do here is hope they give you a chance to even it up.
And the second one is off. Now here's Beasley. Shoots over Curry. No good from Beasley.
Well, he was just a little bit off with his mechanics there for some reason. I'm not sure.